What I like most about the Flight Deck is it's so strong. I can do lip slides and I don't feel like I'm gonna break my board. I've broken so many boards doing lip slides. So when I compare a Flight Deck from Powell with a regular skateboard deck like this Enjoy Resin 7, there's a few things that stand out. First of all, this Flight Deck is shorter, the wheelbase is shorter, and the nose and tail are more mellow. Especially the nose. Every Flight Deck I've had, except for the Andy Anderson board, it's like a twin tail. Like the nose and the tail are symmetrical, and they're both really flat. And then you go to this Enjoy board, and the nose is a lot steeper than the tail. So it's kind of hard to tell in this lighting, but the nose is definitely much bigger and steeper on the Enjoy than the Flight board. I like the Flight boards a lot for tricks that you have to get your feet off the board, like ollie norths. But I don't feel as locked in on the Flight Deck. One thing about the Flight Deck is it definitely lasts longer and it is a lot stronger than a regular skateboard. So is it worth the extra money? Because it is quite a bit more expensive. If you do a lot of stairs, a lot of rails, and things that are gonna break your board, if you break a lot of boards, it's definitely worth it. A regular board can break so easily if you're doing tricks like that, but if you're somebody that doesn't break a lot of boards, you're gonna get the same amount of razor tail and it's not gonna be worth your money at all. So for me personally, I really like the Flight boards when it comes to flip tricks. I've got some of the smoothest flip tricks ever on those Flight boards. But I'm never gonna be able to use either of those two boards for a transition board because the wheelbase is just not long enough. That's why I really like the Andy Anderson board, because it's a longer board. That for me is more important than the width when it comes to feeling stable on a board when I'm skating ramps. So they need a little bit longer wheelbase, a little bit longer nose and tail if I was gonna skate them at the skate park or on any type of ramp. But for a board for flip tricks on flat ground, they're great. And I would suggest them for that. And that's what I'm gonna use them for. Anytime I'm doing flat ground tutorials, like, you know, pressure flips and stuff like that, in the future, I'm going to be using those boards because they're really good for flat ground. They're really flat, there's not a lot of concave, and a really mellow nose and tail. So they're great for doing shove-its or big spins without the board flipping. Anything where the board doesn't flip, it just spins, they're great. But if the board has to flip and spin, like a 360 flip, I'd rather have just a little bit of concave, a little more concave, and not be so flat. So certain boards are just better for certain tricks.